Welcome back here to the World Cup, the Touch Football World Cup here in Malaysia. For this game between the United Arab Emirates and Italy in the mixed open division. I'm joined today by Tom Devereaux, the English men's 30s coach. Welcome, Tom. How have you found the week so far?
Thanks, Dean. Yeah, it's been a great week so far. 3 wins out of 3, but lots of work obviously to come. And what about yourself?
Mate, I found it really good. I've been playing tourist, but we're away now, and it's the United Arab Emirates. We're a long way away from them. They're playing on field 6 and not in the stadium field. But it's UAE with the ball. They're attacking into the Italians' line. They drive it through the play there and driving through. They threw the fake rooster. They tried to set it up and see if they could catch the right middle short, ducking in, but he was right up to it there. They go again, straight out of half, throws the dummy through the line, but dropped the ball. How'd you find that opening set, Tom?
Yeah, you can see there's definitely a lot of structure in the UAE team. They're clearly looking to come out towards this left-hand edge. They've clearly seen something out there, and we'll see if they look to go back to that, Dean.
Italy now, they'll look to get the ball off their line as they drive through the middle of the field. The half is out there. That's going to be trouble. That was the acting half court. The referees have let that one go, so bonus for Italy now as they shift the ball out to their left link. They drop it inside to the middle. Driving through the ball now. There's a penalty, so it's a bonus there for Italy, and that was good direct play up the field to put them in a position where they can attack in the red zone.
Let's have a look at what they're looking for again. Ooh, just setting up here one.
Drive in on the left middle. I get around on the rooster play again and held the ball up there, but it was pretty well read defensively from the UAE. Italy will come back and start again.
It'll be interesting to see here, Dean, if Italy look to attack a little bit more expansive. Traditionally, they've attacked very much tight in the short holes. Are they going to look to ball play off the back of that? Ooh.
Yeah, a little variation there with the wrap play. Rather than coming in tight, they tried to release the ball onto the outside of the link defender. The pass just went to ground. The UAE now working it off their line. You'll see that they're driving it towards their box. Probably need a little bit more intensity, but in saying that, it is very hot and humid conditions here today. You know, at the last time slot, they were playing 4 10-minute quarters. I'll be interested to see if they do the same again as the UAE. Take off to the right, and they get the ball knocked down. But the Italian defence a little bit loose around the ruck.
It's early days here, but you see this game going into end. Both teams have got repeat sets off their first yarding sets, so I think we're going to see a lot of action in the red zone here, Dean.
And now Italy, they drive it forward. They've just, a lost ball in the ruck there, so incorrect roll ball. UAE will look to shift quickly to take advantage, but no, they're just playing lateral at the moment. I'm not a big fan of the lateral game, but I understand why some teams are attempting to do that to bring fresh troops on. They drive forward now. Again, it's in the middle of the field. They're playing what they call middle. Looking to set up a static play. They shifted the ball to the girl at the left link as we look at it. Just dumping it back on the inside again. They'll drive out of half here this time. Back against the grain. Short ball. The Italians, they've got the line mixed up. The 10 and the 15 there being Agostino and Rosino just got themselves caught up going back behind the scoreline, which allowed for an easy touchdown, and the UAE start the scoring and they lead 1-0.
Right, now let's see how Italy look to hit back off the resulting tap off. We saw them go to rooster a couple of times earlier, and we'll see where they go from here.
So they fade the ball out to the left-hand link position. They're going to try and stretch the middles around. It goes from half. They draw it back to the same position. They're down on the right middle. They run the wrap play again. They look long to the wing. That's a great ball. Thrown by the number 1 there from Italy. Celestio. And that was a really well set up play.
Yeah, it's really good to see. We saw them attacking narrow early, and now we see them looking to go a little bit more expansive, and they get their just reward. 1-1.
1-1, and it might be a high-scoring game, this one, in the context of the competition. Now, both teams look as though that they want to attack at either end and not necessarily wait till they get to the red zone to do so. It's the UAE now. They drive down the left wing. They shift the ball now over to their They're right middle, they're down in front of the link. He gets the ball around and looking to run a rooster play again and through there. But the touch is made there. A good touch by number 6 from Italy. And that's one of the Colombos. There's 3 Colombos in the Italian team. And for those older viewers, that nearly makes up the Hollywood TV series for detectives.
So we've seen both teams staying with this rooster play for a significant period of time. Let's see if they look to go away from it. Are the UAE going to go middle here? It looks like they will.
Yeah, static there. They throw a little quarterback coming in. No, he steps off the right. He gets on the outside as defender. The referee's called touch. We're too far away to tell, so we'll go with the referee's call. But not a bad little setup there from the UAE. I'll start again. Middle is where they're attacking at the moment. They're going to dump on the left middle. Little quickie play back for a quarterback, and yeah, they're really well read by the Italian defence. I think that for both these teams, they just need to stretch the middles out. You can see there the Italian middles are getting very wide. Like a little ruck there, that's going to be a touchdown. A lot of pressure on that defender to make the touch and get back on side because of the width that was provided by his middle not trailing and supporting him.
2-1 UAE early. To Dean's words, it looks like we're going to see a really high scoring game here. And in these conditions, it's really, really important to get your points on the board early. What you don't want to have to be doing is in those final 10-minute quarter, is chasing that game out there. What I suspect we'll see is the amount of errors really increases as we go deep into the second half. At the moment, though, it's pretty solid. Let's see what Italy have got off the tap set.
Yeah, the ball control from both teams has been pretty good. I can only remember 1 error so far in the game. And now Italy, they're into the red zone here of the UAE. They shift the ball to the middles. Again, trying to bring the 2 middles up. They're down in front of the link. They'll run another rooster play here. They look to go wide and they're throwing the ball into a spot where there was no attack. And so that's a turnover, and the UAE now will work at the back off their line. They shift the ball 2 passes. They'll be looking to get to their sub box. And they're driving. That's good drive forward from the UAE.
It's really interesting to see here. Both teams so far have looked to go subset every single time. In these conditions, it is hard to go direct. But what we've seen in some earlier games today is there is reward to be got if you go direct and get that penalty. Let's see if that changes anytime soon.
Okay, so it's the UAE back into the attacking zone. Again, both teams running middle plays. They get the middle up and take it down in front of the link. They've run that play a few times, the UAE, where they set up for the rooster. The half goes around, but they keep driving in back into behind the ruck. They've had reward once on it, so seeing if they can repeat that dosage on the Italians.
Italians coming away on the subset here. Let's see if that half gets there. Yep.
And the Azzurri starts sweeping on now. And they've picked up a penalty. No, the UAE have got a penalty. That's going to be too heavy in the ruck, I believe. Yeah, it's a penalty to the UAE. It's a shame for the Azzurri because they had a really nice latch coming on from their sweeping substitutions, and they did have momentum going forward.
Dean, I think it's really interesting how all the work that you're seeing in your New South Wales tournaments and the Vorden Cup and the like of the latch plays that Doyleson are famous for coming to the fore, and we're seeing it all across the board in the World Cup now.
Yeah, look, it's like many plays in touch. There's the UAE dive over there. The referee's going to award that. He's going to say the ball was down. So a pretty simple play from the ruck. They found space on the outside of the middle, and a dive for the line saw the UAE attacker beat the defender, and the referees have now awarded the touchdown as UAE lead 3-1. But yes, as you're saying, there's a lot of plays that come into the game and get picked up right around the world. In this digital age where people watch live streaming, where they can see it on YouTube, it's a really good teaching aid for those nations across the world that are looking to pick up their skills and looking to pick up the tactics of the game. They get to watch those big events in Australia and New Zealand and England and the Euros and that, to be able to match the plays and break down and work out, okay, how can we envelope this into our own style.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting just how fast the game's evolving at the moment. What we're seeing now is with almost every tournament live streamed, we're really starting to see that the plays are being copied very, very quickly, and things are coming in and out of fashion. I'm sure we'll see and the latter stages of the World Cup. They're amplified. Oh, and another error from the UAE there. Let's see, the Italians haven't had the ball in the red zone for a while. Let's see if they can get down there and what they can do here.
Okay, so here is Italy now with the ball as they shifted 2 passes wide. They're bringing on their substitutions. A little bit of slow roll ball. They'd rather be wanting to go in the game at pace as they trail the ball back inside. 2 passes, they drive back in again. Good interchange of passing. Probably a little bit too far infield to bring the link in. They want to try and drag that middle defender, that left middle defender out and release their link for a 4-on-3. And this will be the first break for the 10 minutes due to heat. And as we go, as a touch there, Italy are leading 3 touchdowns to 1 as we go this first break. And so what's impressed you so far, Tom?
Look, I think both sides have been getting the ball down there. I think we saw two errors in that half as well. To be honest, Italy, when they've attacked wide, they've gone wide once, 4-on-3, and they've got reward there. The UAE have been attacking a little bit more in tight, and they've been getting their reward in there. I'd like to see both attacks start to look to move away from the rooster. While it's been effective early, I think there's opportunities if they look to go away into some other platforms. Be interesting to see how the 2 coaches adjust in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with that summation too. I think what is noticeable that both teams, when they get to the red zone, are really trying to run middle plays. I'd like to see them try and move the middles around. We saw one of the touchdowns that the UAE scored with Italy. By moving the middles around, they created a hole on the inside where the middle didn't fold in underneath to protect the middle player making the touch, and therefore put a lot of pressure on that player. The UAE were able to take advantage of that. So I'd like to see them probably move the ball a little bit more around in the red zone, try and move the defenders around, then take the opportunities, possibly set up 4-on-3s.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. 4-on-3 is where we've seen the score so far from the Italians. Let's see if they continue to go there, maybe off a different platform, and whether they get the reward in the next 10 minutes. What will be interesting, again, as we talked about earlier, Dean, is so we're 10 minutes down. This is right in the heat of the day now. How early is the fatigue going to start to come in? We haven't seen any signs of it yet. I would guess in the last 5 minutes of the half, though, this really might start to open up in the midfield.
Well, you would suggest that the UAE might be more accustomed to the heat than the Italians. I'm not sure how much of this type of heat they have in Italy, but I'm sure the UAE players might be a little bit more accustomed to it.
Yeah, I suspect it's a little bit warmer there than the Italians are used to, and I think the Italians maybe enjoy their time in the Italian summer a little bit too much to be used to the touch scene then.
Can you blame them?
No.
That's exactly right. A beautiful place, Italy. And now we're ready for the second quarter, remembering that the traditional 2 20-minute halves have been cut down because of the heat. We're playing 4 quarters at the moment in the tournament, and Italy now continue to play. And they've gone there with the number 1 there. He wanted the trail on the inside, and he crabbed across the field and closed the hole down for his player who was wrapping him. So the UAE now, they'll shift the ball 2 passes to the wing. They'll now start to drive to their box. They'll be looking to get fresh troops on, and here they come as they swing into the field now. They're not overly aggressive with their driving, and that might be a tactic in relation to conserving energy. But they've picked up a penalty. That'll give them 6 touches now into the red zone.
Let's see what they look to do here. Again, looks like they're going to come back to their middle platforms that they've been going through so far.
And they drive a little bit wider this time. There's another rooster play. It's the same play they've run a few times. They really do like that. The referee's called the touch. It's a variation of the rooster play. They run a very straight line. I'd like to see a bit of variation in the line that they run with that and put a little bit of doubt into the defender's mind. That may pay dividends for them.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Dean. I'd also look at how wide they're heading off the ruck. I think if you watch Dylan Hennessy, you'll see that he's really looking to run some different widths off the ruck there to cause different reads from the defenders. Oh, middle, no luck.
Yeah, I think they lost an opportunity there. It was a really good line run by the attacking link from the UAE. If the middle had been able to release the ball to him, I think he would have scored. But now Italy moving down the field, and they've progressed very well down the field, put themselves in a good attacking position. They run through the line here. Will the penalty come? Yes. The referee played advantage. No advantage. They've got the penalty. That was a good set.
Yeah, and we saw them go direct for the first time, and they got the rewards. We talked about it earlier, and they've got the repeat set off the back of that. So really well worked by Italy. Good adjustment, going away from the subset, getting direct, and getting the treats off the back of it. Let's see if it turns into points, Dean.
Salalisto looks to be their danger man, playing at left link as we look at them at the moment. There's a good quick roll ball. They get the pass away on the quickie. He dives back inside. Probably might have been better to release out to the link. And again, back into the middle. So it doesn't look like either team have really made an adjustment on the way they attacked in the first stanza. And I think that's probably a little bit of a mistake, but they're still driving it down. Salalisto at half this time. He gets out. There's a long ball out to the wing. That's a great setup. And that's where they took the middle. They spread the middle wide. Got that 4-on-3 that we talked about earlier and got the reward.
Yeah, 3-2 to the UAE here. Again, we see when the Italians are willing to go long, they're getting a reward. Now they've gone to both edges of the field off their rooster platform 4v3, and they've managed to get a reward there. Let's see if they stay with that, looking expansive, and they're looking good there. UAE's chance to hit back off the tap.
Yeah, it's been a really impressive few minutes there for Italy with the way that they've approached this second stanza. As now the UAE driving back in. They've get the ball back to the middle. They throw a switch in here with the link. He's trying to get on the outside of the middle defender. They run the rooster this time, and a variation for the way that they've run it, but just they run the normal rooster. The link was caught napping, and they score an easy touchdown. That takes it to 4-3, and you notice that time on the rooster line, Tom. 4-2 to the UAE. You notice that time on the line, he did straighten to symbolise and freeze that defender.
Yeah, it's really tough for that open side link defender there. Obviously, as per policy, they've got to be looking to make their shutdown touch. At the same time, they're a little bit worried. I couldn't see there from where we're standing, but I think there might have been a passive runner in the backfield that may have got them thinking twice about when he wants to get out.
Once again, Italy have opened up really well down here, and they've driven into the play. They've got the ball. They go long out to the wing, well handled by the female link out there. It's pretty well handled. And they are now starting to look to stretch their attack a little bit, where earlier on in the game they were concentrating solely on middle. Again, they fade out to the link, looking for the 4-3. They run a rooster. They step back off the right foot and try to dive under, but the referee has called touch. And that'll be a changeover, and now the UAE will work it off their line.
Yeah, and I'd just like to see them go a little bit wide. It looked like again that if they went 4v3 and hit the winger, that they were open again.
There's an old adage, if you run something and it works, keep running it. They had success with the 4-on-3 long to the wing, so that'd be my advice to the Italians right now. Get down the red zone and keep running that play. Now the UAE drive down the middle of the field. There's a good step off the left foot. He goes outside. He's got outside the goal. He's going through the line. He's dived over, but I think he might be acting half. The referee's going to have a conversation, but I've got a feeling he might be the acting half, and the referees have agreed with me. I might have to get out there and referee.
When was the last time you did that, Dino?
Too many years ago, and I won't be doing it this week either. It's a bit hot for me. I'm more than comfortable up here.
Yeah, we never make a mistake, do we? Right, here we go. The Italians coming away. Again, I'd like to see them look to maybe go straight through.
Salisto's gone straight through the middle. They shift the ball too wide. He's standing still in a massive hole, and Salalisto gets through there. 4-3 now the UAE, and that really came off nothing.
Exactly. What we're starting to see here, I think, Dean, are the effects of that fatigue in the midfield. Those middles have been working hard. They're now getting caught. Well, what do we have here?
Well, I'm not sure what the referees have ruled there. We're too far away to see. But I didn't believe that anyone touched Salalisto there as he went through. But anyway, the referees have ruled a changeover. The UAE now drive into the territory of Italy. They've got the ball. They're looking to shift it out to the link. The middle pulls it up. He shifts it now to the link. He drives wide, attracting the link and the winger into the touch together. Oh, if he had got the ball down there and a quick release, they would have created numbers. Once again, the UAE. They shift it to the left middle as we look at it. And down in front, they run the rooster play again. He comes off his left foot. His right foot as you look at it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see there, Dean. If the dumper had got into the link hole, I think it might have been on there down the short side. But let's see where the Italians go driving off again. They're going subset here.
They're still getting good momentum up the field, but just a few little things are suggesting that there's a good drive by the Italians into the line. They take off from half, they look outside, and they're into a hole there, and drops it back inside. The UAE have recovered. There's just a few decision-making errors coming in, which is also leads to think about heat fatigue as they go out. There's the long pass. It's well caught out wide, dives for the line, but the referee's going to rule forward. Ruled the passes forward, but it was well set up by Italy.
Yeah, it's good to see the Italians are still looking out there. I think if that had been ruled an illegal pass, I think we would have seen the touchdown awarded. So it's good to see they're still looking 4v3. That is where the space is. Next time, I'm sure they'll get the execution right.
Yep, the Italian message from their coach should be run the 4 and 3 and look to hit the wingers, and wingers stay deep. Now the UAE now driving direct down the field. They slow up now. They're happy to go into this mode of slowing the play up. It'll be interesting. They're going to run the same play again here. They get down on the lit. No, they released that time, but they were setting up to run that variation of a rooster. Still attacking back in the short side.
Winger
Good
makes
defence there by the Italian winger, number 17, Scarinello. So my apologies to Simona, but I'll just call her Simona. Good defence, Simona, as they drive forward now, Italy. They get their subs on. Trying to look to shift the defence around. They're into a hole again.
got both middles.
Out of the hole there. Drops it back inside into a very big hole. And everything Italy have done is this time the referee's going to award it. Yes, now it is 4-3 to the UAE. But everything that Italy are doing in attack is really coming off the back of Salalisto.
Yeah, and what we're seeing now, those holes are opening up down the middle, as we said earlier. So let's see if they continue to go there. So one, off the back of yards, they're finding space in behind, and then when they get into the red zone on their repeat sets, they're really looking to go 4v3 long. Right, UAE have gone all their previous sets. They've been going to run that rooster or the rooster variation play down this left-hand touchline. Let's see if we see any variation, or it doesn't appear that we'll see at this set.
Yeah, they've gone out of a very very set format of play and a little bit of individual stuff at the moment. As the UAE look to attack close to the line, he's out of half, he's got through the line, he'll be looking short. Very well defended by the Italians. He probably could have gone back to his right and found extra space. But the UAE still with the ball now. They go long pass out to the wing. She tries to step her opponent, but to no avail, and that's a changeover.
Last play of the half.
So as we go to half-time, it's the UAE 4, Italy 3. And I actually think the Italians handled the heat in that stanza a little bit better than UAE. They play with a lot of energy, but it'll be interesting at the back end if that takes anything out of them.
Yeah, I fancy the Italians to come back here. From what I can see, I can see they'll get more reward. I think if you're in the UAE box, will they change away? The coach has really got to be looking into the 4v3 more than going to the short side. Let's see that. And the Italians, I think the message is stay with the game plan and the rewards will come.
We'll be back shortly for the second half of this Mixed Open 2019 Federation of International Touch World Cup game. So we're back here now in downtown Kuala Lumpur. Well, it's not actually Kuala Lumpur, but Malaysia. It's a beautiful place. I've been here for a few days. Really enjoyed my time so far. I found that Kuala Lumpur is a real mix of the old and the new. And that's what we kind of see here at the World Cup. A lot of the old nations, Australia and New Zealand, Cook Islands and such, but a lot of these new emerging nations playing. And we're in one of those games right now with the UAE taking on Italy. It's 4-3 at the moment to the UAE. Italy will have the tap off here in the mixed open, and what promises to be an exciting second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we saw a very interesting first half here. The game's still in the balance. We saw neither team really change their approach throughout the half. Let's see what the messages from half-time have been, if there'll be any changes, Dean.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether either team have changed their tactics, and we'll get to view that first with the Italians as they tap off and they drive down onto the middle player. They are starting to stretch, or try and at least stretch the middles out. They're running fades here at the moment to widen those middles. That's worked pretty well. They'll go around on the wrap. They go long, out to the wing. They're long. Well, good hands. I've been impressed with both Italian wingers so far. They've shown good hands with the ball. And Italy now with the touch there. That's the fifth and last now. The Italian winger remonstrating with the referee. She thought she should have got a penalty, but the referees have said no. It was just a collision run. And Italy, they go with the long over, looping pass. And really well read by the UAE defenders, and now they'll bring it off their own line. They shift the ball too wide. You can see they're trying to get to their sub-box now. They run the tight angle to the sub-box, held up in the roll ball. You want smooth transition when you want to bring fresh players on. And now the UAE driving in. Probably need to have a bit more vision in what they're doing. They seem narrow focused at the moment. UAE just trying to attack the middles. They get it down on the right middle. Step out of the half. They've created numbers to the left hand side of the field, and that was good play there. And the UAE get the ball down. They take a 5-3 lead. Really just came off a middle play and going back against the grain.
Yeah, it's good to see that though. The UAE going through there. Didn't look like the greatest setup, but they managed to get the most of it, and they got the treats at the end of the set. So 2-score lead now. So I think we're going to need to see Italy hit back quite quickly, or that heat will start to take an effect. 2 scores at this point is nothing, but in the heat it is going to become harder. Whereas normally we see more scores late in games, what we're finding over here is there's actually less scores in the third and fourth quarters. For those viewers just joining in, we do have quarters today rather than the traditional halves, and we're seeing that due to the extreme heat rule being in play.
Italy now with the ball. They're 5 metres out from the UAE's line. They shoot out a half. They go long to the wing. And well, hands again. And very good hands from the Italian winger. She's going to get penalised for a late pass. But as I said earlier, really impressed with the hands. That's a 35 metre pass. Taking it with pressure on her. And yeah, very impressive from the Italians.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing now is the UAE wing is now holding out on the edge. I think the space might be down that link channel, Dean. We'll see if there's an adjustment to there.
As they once again look to get the ball to their box so they can bring their fresh troops on. They sweep around. They're looking again back into the middle of the field. They want to isolate that middle player. They've got him down now. And they are there. Oh, probably should have stayed wide. There's a good long ball. The middle set back to the left there. Probably should have stayed on the outside shoulder and made the Italian defence. They created the 4-on-3, but as soon as he stepped back, it just moved it back to 3-on-3.
Italians bring away and an early error. So here's a chance for the UAE to take
There's an opportunity to shift. They haven't taken it yet, and they've just there's a lost opportunity. A quick shift to their left would have possibly given a result. They've got a penalty here now, looking to take the quick tap. Again, they'll look to go into their setup here, probably middle, just starting to drift a little bit. I'd like to see him. Oh, you've got to get the ball down on the ground. Take advantage of having that defender up in the ruck.
Yeah, what we're finding this week here is the ball is really slippery out there. It might not look it without there being any weakness, but there's something on the ball that the players with all the sweat are really struggling to get the ball down cleanly. Something same for all teams, so let's see if there's any adjustment. And an error there from the UAE.
Yeah, and again, that was a simple error, probably more put down to the heat and starting to take fatigue. The first thing that goes in when you're fatigued is your brain. It's not necessarily your legs, and that's where mistakes are more so made. As Italy now, they drive the ball into the half of the UAE. There's a good strong drive by the girl playing link. They're back into the middle. They've got them on the back foot here, the UAE. If they can take advantage, they shift the ball. There was an opportunity for the long ball to the wing, and they've missed that, the Italians. Looking to probably dive over himself, but if they throw the long ball to the wing, she had time to have a picnic, pack up, and still get the ball down.
They're going to get another go, just like the UAE at the other end. They're going to get another go. Let's see if they can turn this into points.
Okay, so Italy just slowing the play down a little bit here. Dragging the middle out. They run with the quickie. And if they hit the hole, they're going to chop the hole. Oh, he just ran into the girl link's hole. He probably, the 14 needed to straighten there. Allow the girl to hit the link hole and draw the wing defender in to provide a clear pass to that winger. But now the UAE, I believe the UAE might be starting to look a little bit stressed with the heat. They're making a few errors. They aren't as crisp as they were earlier in the game. Their drive to their box isn't as effective. And when they come on the field, they're not coming on with that same intensity. The Italians, on the other hand, they still look full of running. The UAE out of half this time. They come back with acting half court. They've given the ball back in good field position here to the Italians if they can drive forward.
So this here, a really good opportunity for the Italians. To Dean's words, they've got field position here. Let's see if they can get down into that red zone and get into their repeat set plays.
He beats his first player. He drives back into the link hole now. The Italians are spread wide to the left. It's in the hands of the middle. And down in front here, there's an opportunity to run the Rooster play. He goes off his leg, and again, they had two girls outside the wing. He should have given the ball through the hands, and Italy score easily. The coach wants us to have a talk to his players about that when he gets them off to sub. They're down on the left middle. Ooh. Oh, and there's an error. And again, fatigue. I think it's the fatigue coming in, Tom.
Yeah, it is. So we talked about it earlier, Dean, but we're really seeing that earlier and earlier in these games. This is the second game of the day for both these teams. They're really going to struggle in the second half. We said it would occur about 5 minutes in. That's where we are now. Let's see if the teams can think. That 2-score lead might be enough at this time.
Yeah, we'll exactly right. It's a big lead to hold it down or bring back in under these conditions at the moment. The Italians look full of running, but there are a few mental mistakes coming up. Opportunities missed in the last 2 or 3 minutes. They could have scored 2 and have the game all squared up as UAE trying to go through. Nearly an intercept off his line. And that was the big number 20, Alalira, who could have been off to the races.
And I don't think they'd have caught him.
And we are in the equestrian centre, so I suppose off to the races is appropriate. The UAE now, they're in the attacking line again, trying to beat the girl on the outside, but really well defended. And that was one of the Colombos.
Strong play from the Italian females throughout this game we've seen.
UAE, they're down in the front of the link. They run the Rooster play, dives underneath, but a good touch there. The referee right on the spot. Very good positioning by the referee to rule on that play. Oh, we've just had the water cart run over one of the signs down there at the end of the field. It's all happening.
Again, and that's also too.
And I reckon that's a touchdown. There's a touchdown.
And there we go.
Yeah, really well set up by the UAE. A very good quickie. He gets the pass there. They dive low just to beat the Italians on the inside. And unfortunate there because the Italians were coming right back into that game. So they lead now 6-3, and that might be a little bit too far to conjure back.
Yeah, well, we're going to see the clock start to really play an effect now. If the Italians don't get the score off the tap here, they're going to be under a lot of pressure. But coming very down direct, the Italians. Out to the link. Drops it back, finds the middle.
They're out of half this time. They go short. Well led by the defence, the UAE. Again, they had an opportunity long. I would like to see them keep throwing long. They're actually getting their link and winger outside the UAE last line of defence. Here they come around with the Rooster. They go long this time, but the pass was, well, I don't want to say it, but it was awful. And the UAE are going to have the pressure released and come off their line. Penalty for forward pass. Play on should be here. He's rolled the ball. Well, referees will let that go. The girl did tap it with a foot. Play on now. The UAE driving towards their box. Looking to bring fresh troops on.
UAE looking to come down here, down the middle channel is the flood. They're going to double up on those middles, drop it back in.
Drive in again. The
Out of
touch is made. To go off the right foot. He's back through the hole. Interesting to see what the ruling is here. Acting half. Caught. Geez, I didn't know if he had been onside there. He only seemed to take a few. There is some. There must have been some back check because he's now marched him 10 metre, forced sub. So one of the UAE players has said something to the referee. They've marched them 10 and had a forced sub.
Let's see if the Italians can take advantage of this momentum early in their set.
And here they go. They've shifted the ball. They're out on the wide wing. They bring their subs back into the middle of the field. They're just fading across the field, trying that the game pace has slowed down a little bit of interchange there with the play. The Italians now, they're looking to go middle. And here we go. Our third quarter comes to a complete. What are they going to do? The Italian, they've got to try something. Geez, I thought they needed to try something there. They're 3 touchdowns down with 10 minutes to play. That might be a bridge too far, Tom.
Yeah, and I think that last play is quite telling, Dean. They're down by 3 touchdowns. They don't even have a crack on the last play. I think that heat really is getting to them. I don't think we're going to see too many touchdowns in this final stanza, but with the hope of the viewers at home and the Italians, let's see if they can prove us wrong.
And for Tom, because you did tip him to come back into the game in that quarter. But yeah, no, it's been entertaining. You can see that both teams are developing, and they're at least trying different aspects of the game. Like I said, I'd actually like to see both teams probably play with a little bit more intensity in the red zone, stretch their middles out, run the 4-on-3s, and for the Italians, they've got to look long. There's opportunities there all the time.
Yeah, and the other area if they're going to chase the game is when they went direct with their yards early on, they had some success. I know it's the final stanza, but we'll see if the coach can get them to go down that middle channel and earn repeat sets or maybe even another touchdown.
Well, it's interesting. I'm just having a look, and we are a fair way away from this game on field 6, but just having a look at the Italians in their sub box, there's a lot of conversations going on between different groups of players, not necessarily everyone together with the coach. The coach is addressing one group. There's a couple of players talking to themselves. They're setting up a different play. There's another group out the back. As a coach, I'd like to get them all inside. You look across the other side of the field, the UAE all in together, getting instructions from the coach. I know Tom's on the Italians, but if I was a betting man, I'd be saying the UAE with 3 touchdowns with 10 minutes to play, unless they hit what we call in Australia the wall, might be home.
Yeah, well, we are at the races, so I'm sure there's a bookie somewhere.
The Italians first out on the field, that's always a good sign. The UAE just taking a little bit of time. It'll be a roll ball to recommence because it's with the quarters, the game recommences from where the game stopped.
So let's see, Dean, if to your point though, it looks like the Italians were practicing something. Let's see if they're going to go straight into it here and run that set play that they're practicing in the box.
Probably need to stretch the defenders around a little bit. There's a long ball out to the wing. That's what we call for. She drops it back inside the link, but just not there. But good adjustment, I would say, from the UAE coaching staff that the girl wingers weren't as far infield that time. So that's a good adjustment.
Absolutely. UAE now bringing it away, looking to find their sub box. It's really noticeable now that the pace of this game is really slipping. Let's see if there's any way for anyone to bring it back. But I think the UAE are going to be looking to have strong sets, finish down on the 5 with a power scoop, and see if they can hold on from here.
The UAE drop it back in the inside. They drive into the 2 middles. He's out of half this time. He comes back to the right hand side of the field. He goes round behind his player. He's through the line. He gets the ball off. They're jumping up and down. There's a kick. They're all very excited. I thought the referee actually could have nearly found a penalty for obstruction, but he's a lot closer than we are. But I called it earlier that I thought the game was probably done. And one of our assistants here has taken our score sheet away. So I think now that's the UAE are 4 touchdowns. I think that makes it 7-3. We're just getting confirmation of that. Yes, very good. We'd like to thank our technical assistants for taking the score sheet away. But The Italians now all in front of them. They tap off, they drive into the UAE half. They're still working the two middles, they're coming direct. They bring the link into the play. She releases out to the outside. They drop it back to her now in the inside. They're trying to drag that middle defender up. A little quickie there, she's going to dive for the line. But the middle defender's recovered. No, the referee said he hasn't recovered. He said the ball is down. And that's a touchdown to Italy.
That's a great effort from the Italian female middle there. Gone through, got onto the short side, and got it down. 7-4.
Yep.
UAE.
Brooke Ferrio there for Italy, getting that one down. And really well done there for the Italians. They're not out of it yet. There's life in the Azzurri. The UAE now, they tap off, they do a little quickie out to the, drag that link defender up. They're back to the middle of the field. They brought the far link all the way in. They could have taken advantage with a quick shift to the left. But no, they want to structure their play. There goes a Rooster play again. Diving through, and the referee's going to say the touch was made. No, he's going to say the ball was down. And again, very good positioning from the referee. And the UAE now jump out to an 8-4 lead.
Well, curse of the commentator, I've definitely got it wrong that it was going to be a low-scoring final stanza there, Dean. But it's great for the viewers at home.
Yeah, and look, I suppose with some of the fatigue, there probably is going to be some opportunities open up. It's just if their mental capacity in this heat and the tough conditions they're faced with can keep them on track. Italy now driving from the tap. They get the ball out to dump on the link. One pass back in field. They bring the link back in. They release here. They're going to bring a sweeper around. A sweeper comes. He goes back off his his left foot. The long ball to the wing. And I tell you what, she was open again. Just the execution. But a bad luck there for the Italians.
Really good to see the Italians changing it up there. That was a good change up, and they were right in the 4v3 to hit the winger. Get the execution right next time. I think we'll definitely see another touchdown there.
Yeah, exactly right, Tom. Really good option to run. They've gone against the grain. They were attacking a lot to the right-hand side of the field as we look at it. But this time they went back to the left. The UAE with the ball now on the last. They jump out of half. He's looking to go to the open side of the field. Gets the ball out to the link, but the pass was out in front. Unfortunately, she couldn't take it. But the penalty for forward pass, that's why she couldn't take it. It was too far in front of her. And the Italians now, they'll look as they're working against the clock. 4 touchdowns behind. They really have to throw caution to the wind, and they've shifted the ball out into a hole between the middle and the link. They're getting fresh troops on now. They've got to come on at pace. They slow the ball down, a 360 swivel. And back in here, they've trapped 3 defenders up in the line. They can't take advantage of it. Oh, there was an opportunity. They had 3 defenders up in the line. Now they're going to reset. Working the middle, so another sweep play here.
He's going to go from half.
They go back, they possibly go long here again. A little number 10, he dives through, but good defence from the Italians. I wouldn't mind seeing if they run that sweep play, the acting half, dummy the sweeper and step back off his left and attack back the short side against the grain. I think there's opportunities there for Italy.
Yeah, absolutely, Dean. We've seen them step back off the sweeper before and go against the grain, but we'd like to definitely see a little bit more. UAE coming away, coming down the middle channel. Looks like they're going to double up here and set up this power scoop.
Yeah, he steps on the outside, releases back in the inside. He's going to get a bonus here. That's a penalty in the ruck, and picked up an injury there, the Italian player too, while they're in the ruck. The UAE, just good sportsmanship there, just making sure they're all right. I'll go back now and roll the ball. They're in control here, the UAE. There's no need for them to rush or hurry. They can set their format, set their play. They bring the link in.
And it definitely looks, Dean, like they've gone to playing the clock here and seeing out this game. They're happy with their lead. Yep. Taking a couple of touches out there now.
Yeah, they're really going to go to a static play here. He goes around with the sweep on the left. He goes back off the dummy through. He's through the line. He locks long. A great she's dropped the chocolates. There was an opportunity to score. Really well set up. They sent the sweeper around. Dummy the sweeper. The hole opened up for the acting half to scurry through. Found the winger all alone, and unfortunately she's put the chockies down.
Absolutely, Dean. Now, Dean, for the viewers at home, how would you compare the conditions that we've got here in Kuala Lumpur to the famous New South Wales State Cup?
Depends what year you go to the State Cup. We do have a history of rain at some State Cups, but normally it's very hot here and very humid. What you can find in Port Macquarie, you will get days where it's extremely hot, but it's a dry heat. So you haven't got that humidity, and I think that's what's really knocking a few of the players around, the humidity. And the Italians go through now, but the referee's called it back. I'm being attacked here, ladies and gentlemen, by Touch Football Australia Hall of Famer Kerry Norman, mother of one of the Australian Men's Open players, Peter Norman. So it's the UAE now to work off their line. They've got the penalty. They're in no hurry, and nor should they be, with an 8-4 scoreline in their favour. They just need to go through and complete their sets now.
And that's exactly what hasn't happened. Let's see if the Italians go back to that sweeper sequence, Dean. Let's see if they look to go against the grain.
Yeah, apologies to all the UAE supporters with that commentator's curse there. And the Italians, they come out to the left-hand side of the field again. The long ball, well taken. Dropped it back on the inside. And I think they probably need to work the middle defenders around a little bit. Drag the link and wing defender in to protect their middles before they go that long play. At the moment, they're just trying to go to the bucket all the time. Understandable, I suppose. They need touchdowns. The UAE, on the other hand, they just need to control the ball every set of 6. They're bringing the subs on now. They sweep around. Running away from his half. He drops it back inside to him now.
And another error there.
And you can see the 7 from the UAE. Grant goes. He's just happy to slow play down and control it. He realises the scoreboard's in their favour, and the Italians are going to do all their chasing. The Azzurri now are driving into the line. They come back to the open side. Long ball out to the winger. She drives to the line, but good defence
Great effort
there.
From the chase out from the UAE winger there. Great effort to chase that down.
So Juvia there coming out with very good defence. The Italians now an opportunity here from a quick play. He's got the defender out of the line. He dives underneath. I reckon the ball was down. The referee saw it differently. He's a lot closer than I am, so we're going to go with him. And through the hands, and good play by the Azzurri. And you can start to see that the UAE, there are some bodies down on the ground. Look, the conditions starting to take toll now.
Yeah, and he's staying down, I think. There he goes, he's back up. He'll be absolutely fine.
Yep, just the fatigue coming in. Might have cramped up a little bit there. And so now the Italians, they're back into the game, only 3 touchdowns behind, with the Azzurri leading 8 touchdowns to 5. And no longer in the game as the final hooter goes, Tom. The UAE run out winners, 8 touchdowns to 5. And what were your thoughts on that mixed open game?
Yeah, it was great. It was a great effort, very consistent through all 4 quarters there from the UAE. I think their consistency in every quarter was the key there. The Azzurri had a couple of good patches there, but they weren't able to put together the full 40-minute performance.
Yeah, look, I was pretty interested to see how both those teams would participate in this event. Happy with what I saw. Obviously, they're developing. Their skill level isn't too bad. Once they can start to realise the tactical element of the game and how to work defenders over and move them out of position, I think they'll trouble some teams. So well done to both teams. Congratulations to the UAE. 8 touchdowns to 5 running winners. Also thanks to Tom Devereaux, the English men's 30s coach. Good luck for the rest of the tournament, Tom.
Thanks, Dean. Much appreciated.
And we'll be back shortly with more touch from the Federation of International Touch World Cup 2019.